The YouTube Scumbag Bounty Hunter Squad. A Pizzaverse Studios Western parody. When the West went digital, justice needed a new breed of gunslingers. They weren't looking for fame. They weren't chasing clout. They were hunting scumbags one live stream at a time. They call them the YouTube Scumbag Bounty Hunter Squad. Admiral Impeach, the legend. Old school, cold eyes, voice like gravel and bourbon, rides a horse named Algorithm. He don't talk much, but when he does, people get demonetized. Sun-grown trichome, the tracker. Knows every IP in the desert, can smell a fake wise guy through a thumbnail. Always smiling, always high, never misses a shot, except when he's rolling. Jim Martin, the sharpshooter. Quiet type, wears black gloves, black hat, and never runs out of ammo or patience. Once took down a whole comment section with a single post. Aaron, the tech whisperer. Got gadgets, drones, and Wi-Fi boosters strapped to his saddle. If it's online, he can find it and fry it. The crew calls him the firewall with fists. Black Hat Music, the enforcer. Every showdown's got its soundtrack and he provides it. Rolls up playing outlaw guitar licks that make the guilty sweat. When the beat drops, somebody's going offline. And then there's David Lopez, the Mexican. A former Fed turned renegade rider. Cool under fire, sharp with a pistol and sharper with his tongue. He don't say much about his past, but when trouble hits, he's the first to draw. They ain't saints. They ain't heroes. But out here, when the scammers start singing and the snakes start biting, they're the only law that's left. Time to clean up this cesspool, boys. Saddle up. The YouTube Scumbag Bounty Hunter Squad. Justice ain't dead, it's just being shadow banned.
Muggs, what the fuck you doing in there, you prick?
Children of the Mob. Inheritance, Escape, and the Cost of Blood. A Pizzaverse crime documentary. Written by Bambi Palermo. Narrated by Vincent Vinny DiPrio. They didn't choose the life. They were born into it. Before they knew right from wrong, they knew silence. Before they learned how to lie, they learned what not to say. History talks about mob bosses like they appeared fully formed. But nobody asks the harder question. What happens to the children who grow up inside the shadow of organized crime? This is not a story about criminals. This is a story about inheritance. This is Children of the Mob. Born into a system. Children of organized crime didn't grow up in chaos. They grew up in controlled environments. Rules mattered, structure mattered, loyalty mattered. Often the home looked normal from the outside. Two-parent households, stable income, clean clothes, dinner on the table. But beneath that normalcy was an unspoken understanding. Certain things were never discussed, certain names were never said, certain questions were never asked. Psychologists call this anticipatory conditioning. Children learn rules before they understand consequences. The first lesson, silence. The earliest lesson wasn't fear, it was discretion. Children were taught, don't repeat conversations, don't talk about work, don't answer questions from outsiders. Not through threats, but through modeling. Adults lowered their voices. Conversations stopped when children entered the room. Silence became safety, and safety became habit. Identity without choice. Many children didn't know what their parents did, but they knew who their parents were. Last names carried weight. Some doors opened easily, others closed permanently. Teachers treated them differently. Neighbors watched them differently. Peers sensed something they couldn't name. This created identity confusion. Children grew up feeling important and isolated at the same time. Inherited fear. Even in homes without overt violence, fear was present. Not screaming fear, quiet fear. The fear of surveillance, arrest, retaliation, public exposure. Children learned hypervigilance early. They watched who came to the door. They noticed unfamiliar cars. They learned to read adult moods. This rewired their nervous systems. Many carried anxiety into adulthood, without understanding where it came from.
All right. Before anybody gets bent out of shape, let me explain. This ain't a label. This ain't a cartel. This ain't the mob. This is Black Hatzel music, where the vibes are loud, the beats hit hard, and everybody's wearing black like they're late for a sit-down. You walk in the studio, first thing you notice? Smoke. Not danger smoke, creative smoke. Second thing? Somebody yelling. Run that back. For the 19th time. Black Hatzel music specializes in beats that make your head nod, even if you said you weren't feeling it. Hooks so catchy you hate yourself for singing them. And that one guy who swears, "This the one, trust me." Everybody's got a chain. Nobody knows whose charger is whose. And somebody's always ordering food that never shows up. It's family. It's chaos. It's organized confusion. You ain't signing contracts here. You're signing vibes. So throw the black hat on. Turn the speakers up. And act like the neighbors don't exist. Black Hatzel music. Serious sound. Not so serious people.
The children who escaped. Some children left. College. Military. Marriage into different worlds. They changed names. Changed cities. Changed accents. But escape didn't erase inheritance. Many reported chronic guilt, identity confusion, difficulty trusting stability. They weren't running from crime. They were running from a past that refused to stay buried. The children who stayed, others stayed. Not always by choice. Some were groomed early for responsibility. Others felt loyalty to family outweighed risk. For them, crime wasn't rebellion. It was tradition. They didn't see themselves as criminals. They saw themselves as continuing a system that had always existed. The children who paid the price. Some children paid for crimes they never committed. They were questioned, followed, denied opportunities. They inherited enemies they never met. Law enforcement files outlived childhoods, and innocence didn't protect them. Blood does not testify, but it never forgets. Psychological consequences. Studies of children raised around organized crime show consistent outcomes. Heightened anxiety, difficulty with authority, normalization of secrecy, conflicted moral frameworks. Many struggled to define right and wrong. Outside loyalty. For some, love was conditional. Protection came with expectations. Breaking the cycle. Not all inherited trauma becomes destiny. Some children broke the cycle through therapy. Distance. Truth-telling. But breaking silence came at a cost. Loss of identity. Grief for families that could never be whole. Freedom wasn't clean, but it was real. Final thoughts. The mob didn't just build empires. It built family systems. And children were raised inside rules they never agreed to. Some inherited money. Some inherited fear. Some inherited nothing but scars. But none of them were untouched. This documentary was written by Bambi Palermo because the true cost of crime is measured across generations. If this story stayed with you, share it. Because silence doesn't just protect criminals. It shapes children. This is the Pizzaverse, where we don't rewrite history, we excavate it. Thank you for watching. Next time. They always said loyalty was everything. Family first. Blood before all else. That's the myth. Because when pressure hits, when the walls start closing, loyalty doesn't crack loud, it fractures quietly. Informants aren't born, they're made. Made by fear, by greed, by desperation. By the moment someone realizes the family they protected won't protect them back. Betrayal doesn't start with strangers, it starts at dinner tables. In bedrooms, in whispered conversations after midnight. It starts when survival outweighs tradition. Law enforcement likes to take credit. But the truth? The most dangerous threat to organized crime has never been badges or wiretaps. It's family. Because family knows where the bodies are buried and when to talk. When the family turns. Informants. Betrayal. And the moment loyalty collapses under pressure. Coming soon.
Hey, you tired of your crew showing up late to the sit-down? Your capos arguing over who gets the last cannoli? Your espresso machine going missing more than your accountant? Then come on down to Tony's Trattoria and Conflict Resolution Center, where we settle beefs and serve it medium rare. Here we don't whack nobody, we feed them till they confess. Get the Omerta combo, a slice, a soda, and one guilt trip from your Aunt Maria, all for $9.99. You got problems? We got solutions. Missing espresso machine? Boom. Found it. Snitching your crew? Boom. Retired him with a coupon to Olive Garden. Want to move some product? We don't ask what. We just charge storage. Nicky the Nose. Avin, you taking coupons? Yeah, if it's cash. Order today and I'll personally threaten you in the parking lot free of charge. That's right. We're family owned, family run, and family argued. Tony's Trattoria, where loyalty's on the menu and betrayal's extra. So come on down, tell him Vinny sent you, and maybe, just maybe, we'll forget about that thing you said in '09. Tony's Trattoria, home of the sit-down special. Open late, cash only, no witnesses. Tony's Trattoria is not responsible for broken noses, missing espresso machines, or unpaid debts. Offer void if you snitch.
When I go into that ground, I won't go quietly. I'm bringing my crown. When I go into that ground, oh, they gotta bury me face down. From the rubble, what do I see? There's a whole damn army thinking that they're gonna harm me, saying that I'll never get free. Oh, I got troubles, they won't let me be. But I won't get tired, set the town on fire till my troubles got trouble with me. Thinking that they've won, it's only just begun. When I go into that ground, I won't go quietly. I'm bringing my crown. And when I go into that ground, oh, they gotta bury me face down. I've been on the run since I was a boy, but now I'm done running, got another thing coming. Watch my enemies get destroyed. Oh, I got troubles of more than one kind, but I never sleep. Gotta bury me 6 feet deep where the sun don't shine. Thinking that they've won, it's only